The year is 1854, and we have a glorious battle on our hands here. Both Britain and France and Turkey now face off against the Russian armies here at Balaclava as both sides prepare for a clash of the ages. What's up, guys, and welcome back. We're here with another NTW 3 battle for you today, and we're doing one of those Crimean scenarios once again. We did do one of them a little while ago, and you guys seem to really enjoy it. So we're going to do it once again, and we're going to see if you guys enjoy this one. This is obviously the most famous battle in the history of the Crimean War, really, and one of the most famous battles in British history, and that is the Battle of Balaclava. We have the charge of the Light Brigade, and in fact we've actually got looks like we've got 95th Rifles already routing there, but we've got the Scots Greys coming down, and they've helped rout some Russian cav there, along with some King's German Legion Light Dragoons. They've done a good job. Early doors there for Britain, well done. Obviously we are using the NTW3 units. It's not with like the Crimean units. Someone did suggest that we should use the Victorian mod for Shogun 2, which definitely is going to be on my list of things to try and do if we were to do these like scenarios a little bit better, because obviously there is no Victorian Total War, which maybe would be a very cool Total War for like CA to maybe do. I feel like it's the last sort of like age you could really do before like warfare kind of changes and it gets a bit more like grand scale, and like there isn't like everyone's not standing in lines. So yeah, definitely would be very, very cool to see. It'd be kind of like Empire, but a bit later on. That is for sure. But yes, we have the Battle of Balaclava here. Britain, France, and Turkey have all joined together here to face down the Russians, and I am very excited to see how this one goes down. I mean, obviously, it is kind of like epitomized by the charge of the Light Brigade, which obviously goes pretty poorly for the British. It's basically a massacre. And it's a big mistake, is the charge of the Light Brigade. They're told to go in one direction, and somehow orders get through to them that they're supposed to just charge into the valley, which becomes known as the Valley of Death, and they get like slaughtered by Russian guns. Yeah, this battle is actually down as indecisive when you search and look at the result. Neither side really wins, but just both sides just kind of take a lot of casualties. But yeah, the Heavy Brigade did have a very successful day that day, and actually in the morning of the Battle of Balaclava actually did succeed in its objectives. I can't remember what they were. I think they were taking out some Russian guns of their own, and they managed to do that. And then the Light Brigade got given a job, and yeah, obviously, as I said, they kind of failed. But yeah, we'll see how this one goes down. It's a 4v4 sent in by a member of my subs, and he is a member of the Discord as well. And he said it's the best place to send them in is to my Discord. So yeah, very much appreciated. Thank you to everyone that took part in the battle. I will put up the results at the end, I promise, so you guys can see who took part. I always keep forgetting to do it in NTW3. But yes, this should be a fun one, that is for sure. We've got some Russian Cossacks here, scouting ahead, I guess, making sure that the British are on their way. But yeah, I've been told this is a pretty close one, and also it's a very cool, unique sort of like scenario that we're doing. I imagine this is the War of 1812 Russia, because that's I think the latest Russia you can get. We have got 1815 Britain. I think we have two of them, like the Netherlands campaign, and then we have 1800 like Ottomans. That's both Britain and also Ottoman like combo. So we have yeah, a combo of the two there, and we then have 1809 France, which I don't know why we went for 1809, not just 1815. Maybe better roster. I don't know. I feel like you should go with the latest version because, well, that's the best you can get. Obviously, like the difference is like both sides kind of getting starting to use rifles at this point. Muskets are still being used, but like rifles are getting used a bit more, and rifle cannons as well are kind of becoming a bit more of a thing on the battlefield. So technologically, technologically weapons have changed, but tactically, I feel like they still forward in like line battles, and like you've got cavalry charges. It's quite similar in that sort of sense. That is for sure. Someone's gonna go and tell me wrong now. I mean, I don't know too much about like the Victorian period of like warfare, but it's pretty similar in certain ways to Napoleonic. Certainly is in the sense of like the American Civil War, which is a similar time to the Crimean War. They're still using Napoleonic tactics with just like much more technologically advanced weapons. I struggled there to say technologically, which is why you have such a high death rate in the American Civil War. because you're using like mass rank formations while firing a rifle, which is very accurate. So you have a high death rate. But anyway, the Russians are opening fire. As you can see here, they're doing their bit. This cavalry here that keeps running away. Looks like the Bedfordshire Light Dragoons are going to get out of there with pretty much no losses by the looks of it, which is good to see. And it seems like the Ottoman Britain like hybrid army is moving over here. We've got some British converged light infantry moving over. I feel like that, like having these two different eras kind of clashing with clashing a little bit, but not too much. You've got the Cameron Highlanders here. They don't change throughout the period. You've got the Black Watch as well coming to the front. So look, a lot of British infantry, converged grenadiers. I think I have seen Ottoman infantry just all the way back here somewhere. These are, although these are British infantry. Where's the rest of the Ottoman army? It's over here. There you go. Here are plenty of Turks. That is for sure. Wow. They're big units as well. So hopefully they'll be used as like militia maybe to slow down the enemy. Just, you know, mass firepower. Even though it's not accurate, it can just kind of keep heads down on Russians. The Russians certainly seem like they're going to try and flank. They've got lots of columns sitting up, and they look like they're going to try and flank maybe. They don't want to go up this big slope, which the British can easily defend. I mean, it is a big, very steep gradient. I don't blame them. So yeah, they're coming around to the flank over here and trying to take advantage of the flatter side, but it's still got a bit of a ridge here for the British to hold. And I personally feel like, I don't know, I feel like the Russians shouldn't be attacking so much. I feel like it's more the, we'll call them the coalition, we're doing more of the attacking. I mean, that's kind of what happens obviously with the Charge of Light Brigade. The Cavs, the one being the aggressors, they're charging on gun emplacements. But maybe I'm moving correct. Like I said, I don't really know a lot about like the Crimean War. It's not really one of my areas of expertise. I know it happened. Florence Nightingale was there. The Charge of Light Brigade happened. And there was a few other things that happened. You got Lord Cardigan. Obviously then dubs the name Cardigan. Which is an item of clothing now for those who don't know. Yeah, big Russian mass on this side over here. That is interesting to see. Oh, we have a charge here from the Ottomans. Sending a tiny little unit here of cav, and they're going to just take out these Russian light cav. Nicely done. I imagine this other unit of cav here will deal with them, though. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe the Turks are just going to carry on charging in like absolute legends. A second Turkish unit coming in. Oh, it's actually not Turkish, it's Prince of Wales Light Dragoons, but it is the like a hybrid army. They're charging as a British cav coming in. They really need to send more cav to the Russians. This is a losing fight for them. But yes, if you're enjoying the NTW3 action and would like to see some more, do remember leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment show support. It really does help out the channel. And yeah, make sure to hit that notification bell as well, so you know when the next NTW3 battle is. And there you go, Britain and Russia clashing in a good old saber fight on the flank here. Looks like the British are going to lose that one. This is apparently combatant winning. Morale would say otherwise, sir. And there you go, they broke. And they should go off the red line pretty quickly. The Turkish cav, though, hit him back over here, which I think is Mameluka. I presume that's a Mameluke unit. But yeah, plenty of Russian dragoons out on this flank here. Lots of them. Which I wonder whether, if they've all done that, all the Russian armies, I don't know which corps they are, by the way, if all the Russian armies have done that and all brought a decent amount of dragoons, whether they'll overwhelm the Allies when it comes to cav, they might do. It seems like there's a lot of hussars. I mean, we saw the Scots Greys thereabout. We've got some Scipii over here, which obviously, I'd imagine the Turks will bring some pretty solid cav. We've got the Inskilling Dragoons back there, so I don't know, actually. There are some pretty solid cav on both sides in this one. And the French, I'd imagine, brought some okay cav, but I don't know, maybe just chasseurs. What have they got? Chasseurs, hussars. Yeah, nothing like heavy or anything like that, which I guess wouldn't really make sense. Cuirassier is kind of running out of favour at this point, but certainly wouldn't see any sort of French cuirassiers in the Crimean battles. But yeah, here we go. It looks like the Russians are coming forward. The British are firing a few shots, but those converged grenadiers going to go. I wonder if these guys are brought counter the melee strength of the Russians. If so, they're going to need a few more than one or two. I mean, I guess they also have the Scots. The Scots are like basically grenadiers. What else we got back here? Coldstream Guards. Oh yeah, these guys, they brought a good roster, and they got a lot of like units that are very heavy, like melee sort of thing going on. Now we got the Cameron Highlanders, their Royal Fur. Oh yeah, a lot of, like got the Gordons, we got the Black Watch, we got the Camerons. They brought all the notable Highlander units. Yeah, the Russians pushing forward. We can see a volley from them. I don't know. No, they're just gonna keep on coming forward. I think they're just gonna go into melee. I don't think the Russians are gonna stop to have a chat or maybe fire a few volleys. I think they're just gonna go in. I mean, makes sense. Don't wait. If they were aware, the French are still on their way. Now it seems like the Coldstream is gonna just pull back. But the British are flanking. Got King's German Legion, and they could get a good few flanking shots in there. Russians, like reinforcements on their way, a bit slow in arriving. They just fired into the flank. Okay, no, they fired in a very strange column as well. I thought they just fired into the flank of those converged grenadiers. But yeah, they're giving up the high ground for this massive steamroll of Russians here at the British. So the Russians really have done quite well out of this. Again, the cav back here is like a little Mameluke unit getting killed off by the Russians. And here we go. Looks like the Russians are going to stop for a firefight. How long this will last, I don't know. King's German Legion just need to stay out of a charge range, really. King's German Legion, they're pretty decent, like accuracy and also rate of fire, so they should be able to deal with these Russians fairly well. Put some serious damage to them. Already you can see a fair few Russians dropping. Look at this guy, poor Ivan here, falling and dying. No, sorry, Dragoons moving forward. Well, that's certainly not Hussars, that's for sure. But yeah, this seems like where the main Russian push is coming. Seems like the Russians aren't interested in also fighting in the plains over here. They're going to just try and go for a quick dash. And here we go, already a charge coming in. Here come the Russians. And the King's German Legion, the KGL, get them out of there. They're not sticking around. Another unit by the Crimean War, I'm pretty sure it's outdated. I don't think the KGL are like units anymore. Only a thing because Hanover's invaded. So yeah, I think once after the war they rejoined the Hanoverian army. I really can't remember. But they are getting shot by their own troops. They didn't be careful with that, the British. Shooting their own men. Not good for morale, that. But yeah, the Russians taking that hill pretty effectively. Only taking maybe a couple of dozen losses, if that. Well, I'll say they've taken it. They're actually now retreating off the top of this ridge, so maybe neither side holds it. It's just going to turn into no man's land. But that's a war for about another, well, 60 years to come, guys. Don't worry about that one. Actually, yeah, 60 years to the date it would, well, not quite to the date, but you know, like 1914, 60 years later after this. Wow, how technologically advanced they became by that point. Like planes, like rifles, I mean, mass reduction as well. It's insane. Do say war, like, advances man much quicker than anything else. The Russians, so they're coming forward again. And tanks as well. Tanks would be unimaginable at this point. I'll have to check out the World War I mod for NTW. Well, NTW. For Napoleon Total War. I guess it is NTW. Yeah, KGL back on this hill. The officer here firing his pistol. Excellent stuff. Getting involved. Firing away. Keep hitting these boys. And there you go. First blood to the British. Routing that Russian infantry unit. Well, actually, yeah, it was actually, I guess, first blood to the British because they routed those cav over there. So yeah, even more blood to the British, routing the first infantry unit. That's a win. There's certainly a varying quality in Russian infantry. You can sort of tell from like looking at their uniform. Like these guys are all in smart and they're all in their blue and whites. These guys in a bit of a mishmash. Oh, and the cav's coming up. They're hunting for targets. There's light dragoons that I think are getting ready to stop the Russian dragoons. I think most of these guys will form square. That's the strength of Britain. There's no point charging them with cav. Melee is how you're gonna have to get them. Like melee with the infantry. They're not gonna catch the British players out with Or at least not the Netherlands ones. Maybe the... it doesn't even look like these Ottoman hybrid ones, like the British Seaforth Square. Not their Ottoman infantry, but their British infantry will. And as you can see here, Russia takes that hill pretty easily. They're having to give up this flank here before the Russians have even got close. And like I said, I think that's like their greatest fear, going into melee with the Russians. And I don't blame them. Obviously in this one as well, like I was saying at the beginning of the Battle of Balaclava, indecisive apparently. Well, it's going to be a victor here today, so history, whoever wins, will be changed, I guess, because we will have a victor, unless it does end in a draw. Maybe we'll have like a time will just run out and it's a draw. That would be historically accurate, I guess. We've got the Royal Dragoons back here, the bird catchers. Well, they won't be catching birds today, they'll be catching the Russians. Okay, here a cav charge. Oh, what do we have going in? This is a like a just an Ottoman cav unit getting chased down by Russian cav. The French are setting up some chasseurs cheval. I think maybe just to protect the flank. There is some more of their cav over there in the forest. I think looking like they're looking for options to go after maybe Russian dragoons. It's just too much Russian cav here though on this left flank. They're going to need some of that. I mean, they got Scythians over here. They might be good enough for the job, or maybe those dragoons that I've seen that have been moving around, the bird catchers, etc. Certainly seems though that the British and the French and the Ottomans kind of out of ideas. And it seems at the moment they're just going to keep retreating. Retreating. I mean, the French, well, bar the French who have advanced, because they've had to advance this position, but they're holding this right flank, or the Russian left, pretty chill. It's nothing major, it's a few cav units I'm poking about, but that's about it. This could be the big decisive fight for the British. If they can take the fight to the Russians in the field here, win it, and then they could flank around the Russian like center. A cav unit over there getting broken. They just dashed out of the forest by the looks of it. But we have got Buckinghamshire Foot here. We've got the King's Own Rifles, 35th Sussex, Yorkshire West Riding, and the 73rd Foot. They have a monumental task on their hands. They've got to take on these Russian troops in the field, win this fight, and then turn the fight to the Russians. So we've got King's Irish Hussars here, the Enniskillen Dragoons, and also the Queen's Own Hussars. Might be enough to take out all this cav. The Enniskillen Dragoons are pretty solid. They are a heavy dragoon unit. Well, all dragoons for the British are heavy dragoons. Or heavy cav at least. I don't know if you'd really call them. There's such thing as Russians though pouring fire onto the British. Ooh, I imagine doing some decent damage, but not as much as the British will be doing. And these guys can fire quicker, I'm pretty sure. The Russians though are making a push up this hill here, so the British are having to now fight for it. They look like they kind of given up, and then they march back up to it, and now they're going back down. Can't make up your mind, can you, Britain? First you're up there, now you're down, and now you're up again, and now you're down again. Run away, Britain! Run away! The Russian might is too much for you. A lot of infantry being kept in reserve. A lot of these Highlanders, in fact, kept in reserve. Here we go, 2 fresh Russian columns coming out of the woods. Oh, followed by a third. And even more, they just keep on coming. I wonder if the Russians just went for cheap infantry armies, just like lots of cheap infantry that just go for sheer numbers. That is the case. I mean, both sides were fairly evenly matched. I mean, there was about 20,000 like allied troops and about 25,000 Russians. So I guess the Russians, if they did just spam out infantry, they'd be slightly going to the 89th Foot here. And we've got some of that that famous Ottoman infantry moving up. You can tell how well trained they are. They only have sticks and like well, farming implements, basically. I wonder whether France could flank around here. I mean, maybe. They've got a good gun position here at the Russians as well. Wow. I mean, they're firing basically downhill. Maybe could have pulled it a little bit further back, just so you don't have to worry about just firing into the ground and relying on the bounce. It's still a good position. It's open though. The British guns are not relenting. They're going to keep firing on this position because they know how good it is. Doing so much damage to these Russians. There we go. Fire when ready. It seems like I put a bit of a hole into these units, but I'm not really sure. The Ottomans now are in the front line. Here we go. We've had a cavalry charge over here. We've had some dragoons here broken by the hussars of Britain. So well done to Britain there. And they actually showed their card a little bit. And they've got escalating dragoons and also those other hussars. A little cavalry going in here. Now it failed to rout the Russians. Another Russian charge coming in here. Looks like they're trying to deal with these Queen's hussars that are coming in. There you go. And they've routed the 73rd Foot as well. Actually, they didn't rout the hussars. They didn't rout the 73rd Foot. The Yorkshire West Riding nearly broke as well. And the Inskilling now coming in, trying to do their bit, trying to rout these Russian dragoons. And they did just about that. Well done. And there you go. That's one less Russian cav to deal with as well. It looks like maybe that one has returned. Oh no, there's infantry over here. We've got Russian infantry arriving late to the fight. And look at this. As you can see, this is what the Russians want to do. They want to get into the fight. Nice and close. And they just about routed that unit almost on impact. Wow. And the British actually are chasing down with their King's Irish Hussars here, chasing down lots of cavalry, trying to break them. And look at this as well. A hold of the Russian army just appears out of the woodwork.
Our men are running from
infantry and all. Also looks like France on this side here still has not moved. Be a big wins, I guess, there for the British. I mean, the thing is, though, they are winning victories, but they only have so many men. This is a problem with Britain. They have usually small armies.
Our men are running for.
Another unit breaking there. It's a sad sight to see. Imagine this unit can't form squares. It's just in the cabin. Kill it. Yeah, the Russians certainly, after like a period of aggression, sitting back a little bit. In fact, got Turks that are moving up here. Maybe to soak up the fire or just to, you know, get closer. We have got the French cav going in though, and they're trying to take out this artillery here. This is a Russian horse artillery. Looks like they might have taken one out. And there you go, the Russian dragoons helping to scare them away. Oh my, I think both got out, in fact. Wow. Okay. French infantry is opening up and firing now on the Russians as well. It's so weird to see France and Britain on the same side. Very weird. And I'm sure that's what they thought as well when they were fighting in the Crimean War. They were probably thinking, we were fighting each other about 30 years ago. Why are we not fighting together? It makes no sense. Keep firing, men, over the Ottoman Empire. We'll kill every damn last one of them. More and more Russian infantry over here appearing. Looks like they're going to get ready to make a push. I mean, it won't take much to break the back of the British here. Well, I say that as more British reserves arrive. We've got plenty more King's German Legion moving over to this side here, along with a lot of Highlanders. So maybe they're thinking now with the French arriving, they can afford to shift more troops around. And it certainly needs to. I mean, this is the best part of one, if not maybe two armies here of Russians. And they have just disappeared, but they have got cav in the forest as well. So it looks like there will be a cav fight here between the Inniskilling and the King's Irish Hussars. These guys need to reform up just on this reinforcement army. Face down the Russians together, not one by one. French on this side also opening up. There we go. The French already on the retreat as well. That's a common sight. Wave the white flag, boys. Wonder what general they brought. What did they bring? Frederick Walter. Probably a good idea there. One not recognizable, basically. Looks like these guns are going to get taken out. And there you go. They routed. That's what you get for obstructing. Well, they're not obstructing. Putting your guns in open fields like that. Goes in a perfect place. Gets focused down because of that exact reason. Cav in here again. The CPI unit getting wasted and charging like just a mere Russian infantry. So sad to see. Oh, that's I didn't even realise that was a French unit. The French over here charging in against the Russian dragoons. Russia wins once again. The CPIs have returned after breaking pretty early on, or not, well, early. Don't know what their deal is. More charging coming in as the Russians go in again with more dragoons. Like I said, they're just going to overwhelm them. Brilliant, I don't think form square in time. Slash and stab, boys. Kill them all. I see some converged grenadiers moving up. I think they're ready for the charge. Here we go. You see a counter charge from the British. Oh my, this is a big Russian charge here. Some of the units being repelled pretty easily, some not. Russian cav gone, which is affecting morale of Russian infantry. These converged grenadiers got themselves surrounded. They have just helped win, and look at that. A mass rout now taking place with Russia here. Their first wave has been repelled in quite a few areas. Certainly as on this side as well. All they've got to do is test the line. They'll find one break point, and then they'll just go through that with as many men as possible. What do we got here? The Watervilles. It's like I don't know, Hungarian? No, Hungarian, sorry. Dutch unit. I don't know why I said Hungarian. There you go. I mean, you've got the Ottoman infantry breaking. You have got some Brits starting to break. Converged grenadiers going. Horrors of war, hey. And you got another unit charging in there, King's German Legion, trying to break the Russians. In fact, I think they've helped break the other King's German Legion. But yeah, they are starting to break through a little bit here. Are the Russians? From the Russians once again. And Now it's the British turn to be aggressive. They're now going to charge the Russian lines. We're going to charge here. The Scots Greys coming forward. What are they going for? I mean, they can just go for any of this infantry down here. The French are also engaged down here. Melee. They've also got a nasty cav charge against them. As you have the Russian Dragoons kind of just pulling through the Sunak, to be honest, to get to its intended target. Don't know what it is. Maybe another unit of infantry. I mean, there's nothing back here. There's more hussars, and in fact, all they've done is rout their own Dragoons, but they did take a fair few French units with them. I mean, the French are pretty good at melee, but they're not quite on the Russian level of melee, it would seem. They're getting swept aside right now. Fire when ready, Frenchies. Fire when ready. Oh, a general's dead. That is not a good sign. I think that's a Russian general dead. I think King's Roman Legion here, like light dragoons, they push forward and they've managed to kill that general. That is a huge loss. There's another one up here who's very much on his own. He could be taken out if the British realise he's up there. Kind of hard to tell. Even though he like appears on the map constantly, you can't hide your general in NTW3. He's kind of hard to see anyway because he's just in these trees. If you can't see the unit marker, it'll be a bit of a pain. Russians out here have helped defeat the tiny little units. The British should be easily enough done, to be honest. Now they got to deal with this main British left, which is is now going to be their deciding point because the centre is lost. I mean, I guess the Russian right still could, or the Russian left, French right could still be turned around. We'll see. There we go, Cav coming to the backs as well, charging into Fusilier Chasseurs. We've got some guard units there. Oh my. They form a square. What else do we have? We have line infantry over here. They didn't bring any grenadiers to the line. God damn it. We've more Fusilier Chasseurs. Oh, there you go, Walther is their general. Yeah, the French are holding on here by the narrowest of margins. I mean, there's a lot of red morale going on right now.
Our men are running.
Here we go, the Ruskies. And the French are still fighting down here, doing their bit. Kill them all, boys, kill them all. Got the Ottomans firing to the flank, doing their bit as well. Excellent to see. How is the British left doing? The British left not looking so great. It's kind of getting swamped right now by Russians. And these Highlanders can't hold the line. The Highlanders can't hold the line. No one can. There you go. Looks like the light dragoons over here, they're just going to patiently wait, look for their right opportunity. The British need to keep retreating over here. They've still got the Inniskilling dragoons as well, a heavy dragoon unit. And they've got an incredible gun position up there. I just realised that the British. It's a really nice spot. They've got all the Royal Dragoons, the bird catchers moving across.
We have
the
killed their
six-pounders
general,
there.
sir.
Another
Now
general's
they
been killed
must
though.
break.
So this is the Russian army over here has had its general killed. And actually, yeah, the French have got a cav unit behind the chasseurs there. And they've managed to maybe turn that fight around. And look at that. I mean, yeah, the Ottomans, along with the French here, have helped to just smash these units in the side. Like, the Ottomans put some brutal musket fire in there, and now the Cavs just going in there to just make sure these guys rout properly, I guess. It's now coming down the Russians on this side, and the Russians in the field, which is scaring back the British as we speak. I don't know how many Russians are in the center, but they certainly need to do some reorganizing, that is for sure, in this one. and we'll see. I mean, they've got to just make a push at some point on this side here. I mean, what cavalry we got? I keep seeing like white horses, and I think, oh, cuirassiers, but it's not. They're just dragoons. If they were cuirassiers, I wouldn't be surprised. Russia might still use them. Here comes the infantry, slowly plodding forward, ready to engage the British one last time. Or at least there should be one last time. I imagine some of those Russians might return. We'll see. I mean, to be fair, it depends if the French and the Turks here give them any sort of respite. They might not, to be honest. There are Scipii Cav here, and also then the chasseurs, and they've just been, I imagine, running through these Russian units, making sure they break and stay broken. So yeah, maybe they are in a lot of trouble. The Russian final armies over here. We will see. I'm just gonna fast forward for now as we wait for the Russians or the Allies to make a move. I imagine it's going to be the Russians first. They look like they're making a move here on the far right. They're going to go and try and push this gunpoint. I imagine that'll be my go-to. The general here looks like he's just retreating a little bit, being cautious, unlike his Russian counterparts, who lost two of their generals. I mean, that's pretty damn costly, put it like that. But yeah, the Russians keep coming forward. To be honest, if I was the British, I'd just go ham now. Just go straight on in. I mean, I don't think really much of your army's been killed. Maybe bar some, like, trained, like, British units over here for the Ottoman army. I'm not really sure. I mean, the artillery up here, though, has got a beautiful view. It really does. Aim. No. Firemen. Oh, the poor two guys over there just got blown to pieces. My gosh, rip in pieces. And there we go, cav charge coming in. Queen's Own Hussars, and now we have the bird catchers, the Royal Dragoons going in. And we've got the Enniskilling as well. Some really nasty heavy Dragoons going in. They should be able to take on these normal Dragoons of Russia fairly easily. There you go. Looks like the Dragoons are actually going to pull out of that fight. I don't know what on earth is going on here, but it looks like the Enniskilling's getting charged. And maybe the Birdcatcher's going to rout as well. Maybe not. They should win this fight. They're squeezing this Dragoon unit. There you go, they've been routed, so that was easy enough. The Russian cav over here is still breaking through. I mean, the British cav over here is very much isolated.
Our men are running, sir.
And could this be their charge of the light brigade? Could be. I mean, they are just going in. Oh, these are Russian cuirassiers for sure. That is for sure. They are Russian cuirassiers. They might just be able to deal with those heavy dragoons there. They need to get the other one in skilling, get them out of here, and maybe get them back up the hill. I don't know, but it looks like they're about to get surrounded here by more 2 units of dragoons. They could be in real trouble. We've got the Bedfordshire light dragoon over there, just watching on as it just watches this army get annihilated. As you can see here, all it takes is one Russian flank there, and they're going to take out that other heavy cav unit. And with that, you might see the British get back in the game. They honestly might get back in the... the Russians might get back in the game against the British. Glorious volleys there.
Our men are running, sir.
There you go. Looks like the Enniskillings are broken. Seems like this flank over here, though, has been dealt with. The French moving across in what numbers they've left. Seems like they had a lot of casualties in that game as well. Fair few of their units have rallied. But yeah, they just got a decent amount of casualties, it seems. And there we go. Oh, I thought this was a rear charge from the Russians. From them. We've got the Scots Greys coming down. And this is probably their charge of the Light Brigade. They're going to go in. I mean, they were involved in the Union Brigade charge, which is equally famously disastrous. Seems like the British have something with charging the cavalry into mass formations, or just charging the cavalry at guns and getting them killed. It just doesn't go well. Russian infantry are getting broken. I mean, the British infantry firing down upon the Russians, giving them no respite or closer. Plus, these units have lost their generals, so their morale's even worse off now. Here we go. The Russians coming up this hill again. This is exactly where they didn't want to fight this battle, but it's exactly where they're going to have to fight the battle. The British have helped mop up these cavalry units in the charge forward, and we've got some more Russian infantry here that's preparing to move. Either moved or be moved. That is the question. Which will they do? We'll find out. There you go. Again, more British infantry just routing the nearest Russian infantry with ease, to be honest. How the heck is British infantry going behind here? I beg it's not corrupted like the last one was. I don't know whether it's got something to do with the new patch or something now.
Our men are running, sir.
Has corrupted replays. Shouldn't really have. Here we go. We got the Scots Greys coming down the hill are going to charge straight on in to the Russian infantry line. Will they form square? No. The Scots Greys doing their bit, slashing and dicing these Russians to pieces where they can. They need to get more British infantry into the fight here, though. Support their cav. And there's French on the way as well. I think I know which one I would want if I had the Scots Greys on my side. I'd be like, give me a Brit. A man can fire 2 rounds a second. Or 2 rounds a second, 2 rounds a minute. Well, 3 in fact. I think it's French that can fire 2. Not in a second, that would be incredible. That's what a machine gun does. And here we go, looks like the Russians are going to go on in.
Yes, sir.
Keep on fighting. They might actually rout these British, you know. I don't know if they've lost their general in this army. The cuirassiers marched all this way just to get shot at and run away. What cowards. Got some returning Brits. Or returning Nazis, I should say. Don't know why, but returning Russians, I should say. Returning Russians, get rid of them.
Our men are running, sir.
More Brits running. That's a sad sight. They need to get away from the Russians. They don't need to get close to them. This one's down here. Oh, I think the British went engaged down here. What are they doing? King's Roman Legion down here. What on earth are they doing? They need to get out of that fight. Stay away from the Russians in combat. That is not a good place to be, even if you've got the morale on them. They need to hold on. There's, I think this is the general on his way here. Abdullah on his way. We've got also the Prince of Orange. Don't think these men ever would have met, but they're here on the battlefield together. And that's what the PopeJohnPaul channel does. Brings wacky old armies together. Fire a volley into the Russians. Send them packing. Charge in, boys. Charge in. French now arriving on the left flank. This ridge is now going to be where they hold. mean, they could charge in there. I mean, morale is, I mean, melee is an issue, but Scott's Grace can go in. But yeah, I'm worried that the replay's slightly bugged because, well, I mean, things like this happening. This should not be happening, usually. But I bet see Jurassic so going here against Abdullah. So what on earth they're doing there, I don't know. But Abdullah is now clashing with Russian cuirassiers, and he's getting the heck out of there. He's not hanging around, that's for sure. Looks like because of that booked out unit, though, the cuirassiers might just get routed here. Yeah, it's like the same over here. This Russian unit is just firing into the distance of something. Oh, no, it might be firing those King's German Legion. I don't know. Certainly that Russian unit there is booked out, that's for sure. The cuirassiers down here got themselves now in a tough old fight against KGL. And Abdullah's back! And he's here to rout the cuirassiers. The last decisive sort of charge I think that was needed to rout and break the Russian backbone. Just going to charge on into the rest of them? I don't know. I'm going to fast forward a little bit just so we can get through this. Yeah, it looks like they're going to rout these guys. I don't know if they'll move on to the next few Russians. But we'll see. I think they're just going to do a bit of a mop-up now. Which would make sense. Oh, Abdullah getting shot. Be careful, lad. Be careful.
Our men are running, sir.
A good charge there, though, into that Russian unit. That just obliterated them. The Scots Grey is still alive. They're doing their bit. That's good to see. Don't know where they're running off now, though, to. Maybe off to go and get this unit. I really don't know. They're running off into the distance. General there about to be engaged. And that'll be the death of him. Abdullah here looks too strong for the Russian gen. Kill him. Kill him, lads. There you go, he's gone. And then I think that's all the remaining Russian generals I think have been dealt with there. Certainly all the Russian armies have been dealt with as well.
Now they must break.
But there you go, the Battle of Balaclava. It looks like it's going to be a coalition victory. Both sides, though, coming out with pretty much no men remaining. It's been a pretty damn brutal one. So I'm just going to make a quick cut, I think, to the end where we are where we see the end results. It's been a fun one, that is for sure. It was interesting. That big Russian push at the beginning. I mean, the Allies were so scared of it for so long, and I mean, rightly so. It did a lot of damage. But yeah, we need to. I feel like the Russians needed to maybe try and work more on this flank over here. They did a decent job, but they seem to have more and more reserves. They could have just kept bringing them up and then just swinging it on round. But yeah, I'll see you guys at the end results. Okay, so it did seem that the replay just paused at the end. I don't know what it is. It's been a bit of a recent issue now, it seems, with the last few NTW3 battles that I've done. So maybe it's the patch with the older replays. I don't know. Might be corrupting it ever so slightly. I don't think it was supposed to, but maybe it did. Who knows? But anyway, the Battle of Balaclava is over. And the British did win, as we did see there. Oh, the British and the coalition, I should say. So yeah, well done to all of them. They did a very, very good job there. Certainly was a fun one. Do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new on here in the comments, show support. I have hopefully put up all the end results so you guys can see them. So thank you to everyone that took part. Thank you to Richard, the Lionheart, who sent this one in. And yeah, thank you for G for sending me the end results as well. Very much appreciated. But well done to everyone that took part in this one. It was a very good one there. And yeah, hopefully you can see who did well and who didn't. I can't see at the moment. But you know what? I'm going to say G. He did pretty well. He probably got the most kills, you know. He's a pretty good player. But if I'm wrong, G had a bad day. I don't know what happened, man. But anyway, do remember to leave a like, subscribe. Join the Discord if you want to see some more scenarios. If you want to get involved in scenarios or you want to play some battles, feel free to join. And I'll see you guys in the next one.